Hi, welcome to Bruce's Garage. I'm Bruce, and this is my garage. Do you have leather seats in your car that you want to make sure are protected from dye transfer from blue jeans, oil, grease, spills? Then I've got maybe just the thing for you. Diamond ProTech's Diamond Leather Kit. It's a nano diamond ceramic type coating for your leather. So Diamond ProTech uses a very specialized nano diamond coating to protect not only paint surfaces, not only glass, not only other interior surfaces, but they have diamond leather kit as well. This kit is awesome. It's got everything you need to keep your seats hydrophobic and resistive to all sorts of foreign substances like dye transfers, oil, grease, spills, those kinds of things that could damage your leather. It works on real or synthetic leather. So we're going to look at how to apply this. You're going to get to see me do it. I'll walk you through step by step. So come on in the garage and let's have some fun. All right, we're all set to now begin applying diamond leather to the leather seats in this vehicle. So keep in mind, leather seats have been cleaned already. So we essentially used our favorite leather cleaner and just cleaned the seats. These were pretty clean to begin with, but that's step one, is you want to make sure that your surface is all clean and ready for protection. You wouldn't want to put protection over dirty leather. So we've cleaned it. So the next step is we're going to open up our kit, and we have everything essentially that we need. So we have Diamond Body Prep, which is going to be our prep spray. We're going to put that on first. Then we have actually diamond leather. The beauty is everything that you need is in the kit. So the applicator, there's a microfiber towel, there's gloves. So everything we need is right here. For right now, I'm going to pull out the Diamond Prep. This is our prep spray. It's the final step before we apply diamond leather. So you can see it comes in a bottle, has a sprayer. Open that up. Attach the sprayer. Going to make sure that we shake this really well. Using Diamond Prep is extremely important with Diamond ProTech products, as they expect you to use their prep because it's specifically designed to work with their protection products. Then I'm going to spray on the surface. So I'm going to get this fairly, I'm not going to say soaked, but I'm going to liberally spray this here. Take a microfiber cloth and just wipe clean. So this is the last step, and it's really done to ensure that there's nothing on there that's going to inhibit from the coating from adhering to the surface appropriately and bonding to the leather. So I'm making sure I get in all the creases here. And of course, you're going to want to make sure this is dry. Those diamond kits, actually Diamond ProTech has kits for all their products. They're fantastic because you have everything that you could possibly need. And I love that because everything's just right there, and I don't have to worry about buying separate prep spray. It's all included. Now, I did bring in an additional microfiber that I'm using for my prep, and I have my own gloves because I think the gloves in the diamond kit are just a little too big for me. I think they have large and extra large. I usually use a medium glove. All right, that should really do it for that prep stage. Next thing we're going to do is actually apply diamond leather. So what I'm going to do is move my other stuff out of the way here. I've got my microfiber towel, and I have my applicator and diamond leather. So let's recap why we do this. The nano diamond coating that we're going to put on this leather is another protective layer for the leather. What is it protecting it from? Protecting it from oils, grease, spills, dye transfers from jeans. So it's another protective layer for your precious leather. By the way, it also works on synthetic leather. This happens to be real leather, according to Honda, but if it wasn't, it would still work. They also have diamond interior kit that you can use for synthetics. This will also work on synthetics, but the diamond interior also works on your plastics. So that's another kit. We'll talk about that at another time. But diamond leather goes right on our leather or synthetic leather surfaces. It gets you about up to 12 months of protection. Now, what's the enemy of the protection? Like any protection, even on paint, it's friction, it's abrasion. And guess what? Your seats do get a lot of friction and abrasion as you move in and out of the vehicle. Your body's moving, so it's rubbing against those surfaces. The greater frequency of that, the more likely this won't last a full 12 months. So, for example, if you're an individual that's often in your vehicle alone, you may find that you may need to reapply to your driver's seat before you ever need to reapply to the passenger or back seats. So just something to keep in mind, but they do report you can get up to 12 months. So we open it up. First thing you do is you want to make sure you're shaking for at least 15 seconds. So you want to make sure, and this is true with really, frankly, any type of coating, you want to make sure that you're mixing those chemicals appropriately. Once that's done, we're going to prime this pad with about 15 drops of diamond leather. So I'm now going to open it. There's a dropper here. And I'm going to put about 15 drops on this surface. No, I'm not going to count. And I may even put a little bit more since it's the first time and I want to prep or I want to prime this pad. I'm replacing the cap. And then I can start applying on the surface. And I'm making sure that, I can see where it's going and that I'm getting all of the surface that I'm intending to protect. You can use a crosshatch pattern to make sure you're getting into all these tight surfaces. And I'm going to apply a little bit more on here because I can start to see where it's not applying. Again, probably because first time on this pad, it's absorbing. So I want to make sure we're getting product onto the surface. This front part of the seat, especially the bottom seat, is very important because this is where we're going to get a lot of abrasion. So I'm just taking this into small sections, making sure I get into this stitching and the little seams here. Once this is applied, you wait about a minute. Really, you can do 1 to 2 minutes, but about a minute or so, and then we will wipe off any excess or essentially level this coating. The coating should end up with a nice matte finish, the original finish. It doesn't add any sheen. All right. I'm going to take the microfiber applicator that they provided me, and I'm going to go ahead and now just level. Not wiping particularly hard, just across the surface to make sure that there's no additional remnants of the coating that are just sitting there and not being absorbed in. This feels really smooth. It looks great. And then essentially we can wait 30 minutes before we would want to use the vehicle, because you want to give the coating time to get absorbed and bond with that leather. Next, I'm going to work on the back here of the front seat, or the backrest of the front seat. Now we're going to apply diamond leather over to the back part of this seat. So again, I am going to make sure that I'm shaking my coating well. Open it up. And then I will apply some coating here to the surface of the applicator. And then begin applying to the seat. This applicator is very flexible, it's spongy, so you want to make sure you are getting into all of these tiny spots where the seams meet. I'm going to apply a little bit more coating here. I want to make sure I get these bolsters really well, because those are the areas that get a lot of friction. Once this pad gets a little bit more saturated, you probably don't need to apply nearly as much coating. And then I'm applying again in my pattern here, cross-hatching, just to ensure I get all these seams protected and all these surfaces protected well. Again, this is going to protect against any oils, dyes, grease, spills. So anything that you want to keep from really damaging your leather, or getting on that surface in the leather and being more difficult to remove, this coating can help protect. All right. So again, you can wait around a minute or so, and then you're able to just make sure that you level. Now on this front seat, what I still have to do is this part of the front seat, which I'll do when I go over to the driver's side. And I do need to do the headrest. So it's a good reminder, just keep track of what you've coated and what you haven't, just like with paint. You can really feel a difference. I mean, it does feel slicker, believe it or not. First time for me using a leather coating here. All right, so now I'm going to continue applying. I'm going to go ahead and do this headrest. All right. All right, I'm going to let that rest for just a minute or so, and then I'm going to level that. And then I'm going to proceed further into the front seat, and then we're going to do the back. All right, I finished all of the front. I also did these pieces here on the door that are part of the leather. So I did those as well. I'm now going to prep the seat surfaces here in the back. And we're going to follow that same process, shaking our prep spray, spraying a fair amount over the surface, taking the microfiber, and just going over the surface. These seats have already been cleaned, as I said before. This is that final step before we actually apply the coating. I'm also going to protect the back of these seats, so I want to make sure that I'm spraying those too with prep. All right, so I am ready now to apply the coating. Start over here, this part of the seat, and then I'm going to move over to this side. So again, we will shake the coating. Apply about 15 drops or so to the applicator. And then begin applying to the surface. Hopefully you can see it when it's going on the surface. With this lighter color leather, it's a little bit harder to see, but I can pretty much see where I'm applying. Again, I'm going to use just a really quick cross hatch, making sure I get all of these surfaces covered. And I'm going to do this part up here. You can open that fully, and I see that there's some other surface here. So what I'm going to do is we'll come back and get this part in a moment. First thing I want to do is go ahead and level this part of the seat that I've already covered. Again, typically you can wait 1 to 2 minutes. There's no magic. Just make sure you're waiting long enough for it to absorb and connect in with the leather surface. And that's typically about a minute or so. And we're just really wiping off any excess. Okay, since I did not prep this part, I'm going to do a little bit more, and I'm going to prep that surface. In this case, I'm just going to spray it on my microfiber, so I don't want to get a lot of overspray. And then I can apply the coating. Just a few drops. Notice I always put the cap back on. I don't like the coating exposed to air, because again, that's how it can start to cure and not be good for use. So you don't want air getting into that. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to let that sit for a minute. Then I'm going to level that, and then I'm going to work on this part of the seat. Applying diamond leather is really easy. I'm hoping you have gotten that point already. There's really nothing to it. Just a little bit of prep of cleaning the leather, applying diamond body prep, and then simply just applying the leather coating, the diamond leather coating right over the surface. Nothing magic about how to apply it. There's a lot of magic in making it work, but it works great. I mean, it goes on great. I think anything to protect the leather is valuable, just because you spill things. There's a lot of friction. You can get dye transfers from blue jeans. So having some type of protection on the leather, I think, is a great idea and pretty minimal effort to accomplish. Definitely think it's worthwhile. And I'm applying a little bit more just because I'm having a hard time seeing the coating because this is so light. And I want to make sure, again, that these areas that I know are going to get a lot of friction are coated thoroughly. So the seams, the bottoms of the seats, the bolsters here, all of that area, I want to make sure is coated very well. That's why going in two different directions is good. Helps make sure that every part of this surface is coated thoroughly. Right, I'm going to do this back part of the seat. Then we're going to level this and just wipe that right off. Any excess there. Most of the time, by the way, I'm noticing there's really not much that I'm wiping, that it pretty much gets absorbed into the leather. Now I'm coming back and I'm going to level the seat bottom. And you do feel, as I said before, you do feel a little bit different on the surface. It feels a little slicker. Not slick like an Armor All slick, almost slick like just a super clean. I don't think you're going to slip around when you sit. All right, I think that's looking really, really good. I'm going to level this up here. Then I'm going to work on the back of these seats and I'll finish up the back. And then I think we'll be ready to wrap up and just kind of talk about, again, reviewing the application and my overall conclusions. I hope you saw just how easy it was to apply diamond leather to the leather seats in this Honda CR-V. With very light colored leather seats that, of course, are going to be susceptible to getting dirty, to getting dye transfer from jeans or spills. You know, it's an active vehicle. And so we're all in and out of our vehicles. We sometimes eat in our vehicles. We drink coffee or soda. You have kids. So protecting those leather seats is really important. And diamond leather and the diamond leather kit comes with everything you need, and it was super easy to apply. Remember, we just cleaned the surfaces first with our favorite leather cleaner. Then we use Diamond Body Prep just over the surface and wipe that dry. Then we were ready to apply diamond leather. And by the way, this comes in a 50 ml bottle, and I use probably a third for this entire vehicle. So that means for a vehicle the size of a Honda CR-V, 5-seater, you can probably get 3 vehicles done with 1 bottle of leather coating. Very simple to apply. It went on real easy. It leveled and went off, came off real easy. The seats look great. They're now protected for up to 12 months. Again, I'll probably get less than that out of the driver's seat that gets the most activity and gets a lot of friction of the driver going in and out of the vehicle. But nevertheless, I've got some extra coating I can reapply if necessary in a few months. But I'm eager just to see how well and how durable the coating is. But I really wanted to make sure, because of the light color of these seats, that I got them coated and protected. And Diamond Leather gave me everything I needed to do that in that Diamond Leather kit. I have links in the description below. I think overall it was super easy to apply. In fact, I was amazed at how easy it was. I love the kit idea because I have everything in there that I need. So it's not like you get ready to apply something and you're like, oh, I don't have the right prep, or I don't have the right applicator, or I need to get my gloves, or I need to get a new microfiber. Nope, it's got everything in the kit ready for you to use. So it was great to apply. Again, feel free to check out Diamond ProTech. They have a lot of different coatings, both for paint as well as for interior surfaces. And I will link you right over here to a video where I applied Diamond Body to the paint surfaces of another vehicle. I do appreciate you coming to Bruce's Garage. I'd ask if you would please give me a thumbs up if this was helpful. Appreciate it, subscribe, and of course, check out some of my other videos. But remember, most importantly, just go have fun in your garage. Take care.